Maybe you're wondering what happens in an Akashic record session. Well, I can't tell you what happens in everyone's Akashic record sessions, but I can tell you what happens in mine. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. Because I remember, in fact, we were just driving down the street not too long ago in my college town, and we saw the house where the psychic reader was. And I was brave enough to go in there one time because you know the place. It looks intimidating on the outside. It just, you don't know who's in there. You never see anybody go in or out. And so let me share with you what happens when you come into my session. First of all, most likely it's going to be on Zoom. It's nothing to be scared of, nothing to be worried about. And it just will leave you feeling hopefully a lot better than when you came in. And so what happens is first do a quick meditation. And it's just so that we kind of get on the same page. Maybe you were just rushing home from a carpool, or you had a meeting just before that, or you were on your phone, and it kind of will just get us into the same space together. Because when you work with spirit, you really need your energy to be together. It's not that it takes a lot of effort or work, it just needs us to be all on the same page so that we can all get in the flow and work with one another. And it will just help us if we are all centered and within that same energy. So we do a quick meditation, just a couple of minutes or so, and then I will read the Akashic Records prayer. And it's not a religious prayer or anything like that. It's just a prayer of intention. It's a verse that I read, and it's a ritual that I do. It isn't the only way to go into the Akashic Records, but it's the way that I do it when I'm with a client. And I will say this prayer with your name. And then after I do it three times, then we will be in the Akashic Records. And from there, we will just go with whatever you're interested in. It could be a soul assessment, a spiritual assessment. It could be looking into past lives and how they can help you now. It could be asking questions about your career or patterns in your relationships, whatever it is you're curious about. And sometimes clients just want to know what they need to know for their highest good. And Spirit is always very willing to just, from my experience, to just give insight and understanding to you that you might need. And it'll happen a lot of times where people are like, oh, that's exactly what my next question was going to be, but you answered it already. And it's just like that. It's like going with a friend who already knows your background and knows all your stuff, and they can just start right in with what you need to hear today for your highest good. And it feels reassuring when you get feedback like that. I'm not somebody who's going to predict the future though. So if that's something you're looking for, or medical direction or medical advice, that's not my area of expertise either, even though you can um, go into medical, things with the Akashic Records. I just don't feel comfortable doing that for somebody else. So we just ask questions back and forth with spirit. And you may wonder, well, who is this? It's in the Akashic Records. It's the masters, the guides, the beings of light. Sometimes your loved ones come in, and I just will channel or say what they are saying, and share that with you. And then you can ask more questions. It's more open in the Q&A than a mediumship session. It just is the way it is with me. And you can ask questions easily with that, whereas with mediumship, it's kind of on a different wavelength, where it isn't as easy to ask questions back and forth, although sometimes it happens. It's not the standard. But we'll just go back and forth asking questions, and at the end of this session, I will wrap it up with the closing verse, the closing prayer, and then your records will be closed, and we can talk about it and share how it felt for you. But there's no time at all where you are under hypnosis or me. We can always be talking normally and having conversation and talking about the best ways to ask questions to get what you need in the session. But it's very comforting. It's very reassuring, and it just gives you the information that you need at the time. And I keep saying that because there have been times where I wanted to know how my future was going to be. I wanted to know what was exactly going to happen. And It isn't that. The Akashic Records isn't a fortune telling thing, and I just said that a few minutes ago. But it's because we have free will. You can I can say you're going to go to the grocery store today, and you can decide you're going to just sit on your couch. I mean, you have free will to see how things are going to go. They can kind of give you an idea of how it might be if you follow on this path, but there's no guarantee. So if I say something to you on accident or somebody else does, about what is going to take place in the future, take it with a grain of salt. Also, when you're asking questions, I'm always going to be encouraging to ask open-end questions, not yes or no questions. And it's so tempting to ask these yes or no questions or the when questions, but I just help change it a little bit for you so that you ask questions where you'll get better answers. The next time I think we'll talk about different questions you can ask in the Akashic Records, or reasons why you might go in the Akashic Records and how they can be useful in daily life, and not just a once a year type of thing. So we'll talk about that next time. Look for those videos. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so that you can get notified as soon as new episodes are posted. Thanks and have a great day.